in the Journal History of the Church of Jesus Christ, April 16th, 1833, page 2, records the name of the people who were baptized as a result of that.
From that meeting.
And from that meeting, yeah, where he asked the missionaries to come and talk to the congregation.
No.
So they were baptized by Amasa Lyman and William Cahoon. There was Sam McBride, Betsy McBride, Eliza Crandall, Maria Crandall, David Crandall, Margaret Crandall, Reuben McBride, Abigail, Roxana McBride, James McBride. They were all baptized on June 13th, 1833.
So this was because the Baptist minister?
Their son, Myron Nathan, married his wife, Tryphena Bisbee, in 1841, and they were married by Hiram Smith in her uncle's home, who was a Packard, the Springville Bank Packards, in 1841. So, if you want to know about David Crandall, there's his file. there's Margaret Ann's group.
Do you have some of these uploaded onto Family Search? Do you have some of these? Are these files?
Some of it's Family Search, some of it's passed down in the family, some of it's from the Daughters of the Pioneers Museum, that kind of stuff. So
that would be a job to scan all those things and put them on Family Search.
Just started out with a book, but I outgrew that. It starts here with me, goes back there, back here, and it keeps going back to there.
Yeah. So
These are books that are the history about Springville.
Oh, that's fun.
Every history book that comes out about Springville, Don buys and gives them to me. So
Right, she owns every book on Springville.
anything about Springville is.
So I question, Crandall settled, were the Boyers one of the original settlers? I thought they were, that's why
They were.
saying that.
Catherine House Boyer, that I was telling you about, here. Her brother, Jacob House, had a mill here in Springville, and he and another guy, and I don't know the guy's name, they were called on a mission, and they stopped. They were going to Germany. They stopped in Pennsylvania, where my great-great-grandmother was living at the time. Her husband had died of the infection of a tooth. And they talked to her about the gospel, but they had to keep moving on, And when they got to Germany, they were headed to Austria. The government wouldn't let them continue. So they were back in Pennsylvania in about 6 months. But the German government wouldn't let them proselytize in Germany and Austria. So they were came back to Pennsylvania and talked to some more about the church. And much to the dismay of her husband's family, who kind of were supporting her and helping her, and said that they were told their brother that they would take care of her. They were not happy that she decided to do this, but she came west with Jacob House and his missionary companion, and Catherine, her two oldest sons, the only ones that were of age at that time to be baptized. They were baptized in the left fork of some river, so Catherine and her two oldest sons, Philip and John Sell, baptized in a river coming out west. But she came to Salt Lake in 1853 with them. She stayed in Salt Lake until 1855 and decided to come down because Jacob House is here. He's had a place here in Springville and had a mill. And I think there's still a marker in that where he was at. But the Boyers officially got here in 1855. That's when Catherine and her family, all of these children, except for Barbara, and the one that died and was buried back there. But yeah, so they've been here
So they weren't necessarily
with the Crandalls and the
sent, but
Boyers. They pretty much established Springville. Wow.
Yeah, they came through her. And did she marry again, or did she just raise her kids?
She, yeah,
several
she
children.
just she's buried out in Evergreen, and she just raised her family. She never married again or anything. It pretty.
But she just lived here in Springville.
But she-
She was one of the original. She came here.
You can have that if you want. And it just tells a little about her and her family.
Yeah. So she was the original settler she was the first Boyer to come to Springville, was Catherine Howard's Boyer.
Yeah, I never thought of it that way, but yeah.
The tooth, yeah, but he died in Pennsylvania, and then she joined the church after that and came here.
Yeah.
I read somewhere, I was reading about him once, and I read that when he had this infection, he knew he was going to die, but he had a little bit, I don't know, he was trying to conquer, I don't know. But he was trying to help lighten the load of his wife, and so he found someone to care for, like, some of the kids, like, legally. I don't remember, I think it was like a couple sons or something. And then I could be getting confused, but I'm pretty sure this is what happened. And then after he passed, it was kind of a headache for her to try to legally get her sons back. But really, he was just trying to help lighten the load. He was trying to do what he couldn't, Anyway, I thought that was really thoughtful of him. And
Yeah.
eventually she got them back. But I don't know what he did, but he tried to help lighten the
Try to
load.
Probably,
Somebody care for them so she doesn't have to care for so many mouths, something like that.
These are her
Yeah.
children.
Grandpa has a history with lots of stories in it that Harlan, that we have.
Is that the one that Dave recorded?
No, typed up.
Oh.
The written one,
The-
I have it in the old form on the long papers. Yeah.
So this is Augustus
You have
Selber.
that.
He's the one that died of broke the tooth.
He had the infection himself, and he tried to take out the tooth himself with like a certain knife or something, and it caught fire
Is
or
that
something.
this one?
I read about it once, it's been a while, I don't remember the details.
Yeah.
Dave
But it
recorded it,
himself,
and
kinda
then
caused himself
Dave
fire.
sent me the gif.
It was like the
on
leading
it.
cause of death for all humankind until a few centuries ago.
Oh my gosh.
Because we would
Tooth-
wear our mouths out
Yeah,
chewing on
right.
grains and fruits and.
If you became infected, what did
And what do you do?
And it just goes right to the bloodstream.
Yeah,
to
and
your
now what we
brain.
know
Yep.
about, it affecting heart,
Right to
stomach,
your
brain.
heart.
Everything, just right to
Yeah.
her. It's like, yeah.
No, this is not the one I
Oh,
put
and
down.
that, okay.
That was the interview.
Who died of
Yeah,
tooth
this one I
infection?
did
Was
It's
that-
Grandpa wrote
Augustus
it.
Cell.
Augustus,
Oh.
He has a story
Look on
of
it too. I
the,
think there's a story about
Yeah, I found
that
him on
research.
this, this guy. This is somewhere, I remember this being the young picture.
the accident of
And
the
she was the one that
So
first
it doesn't,
came.
oh, there's the kids.
So yeah, it must have been Philip and John, because I remember it was like the two oldest sons, he like,
Augustus L. Boyer's on the died from the tooth infection.
sounded like an old guy.
Lisa,
Karen, we better.
do you
The
remember,
guy like,
you ever remember Dad going in and brushing his teeth?
So thank you so much.
He used to
Oh.
do baking soda.
Stop
Who said?
I don't know.
I do not.
He always picked his teeth with